I just woke up, so all this is very fresh on my mind. It's been very rough these past few weeks, and I think it's all coming to a head again. I think healing is odd because you feel like you're over it for like a few days, and then it all just kind of comes crashing back. Sometimes I can't really grasp whether I'm healing or running, but I let my thoughts be. Maybe that's the issue. Maybe it's helping. I don't really know at this point, but it came to a head because all day I'd really been thinking about her and the situation and everything that was going on. But I went home, I see her during class, whatever. I come home, I take a nap, and dream of her. But it's not like the usual dreams, like, oh, we're just around, whatever. At the end of La La Land, where like it's the alternate timeline where everything goes right, that's what the fuck it was. That's what the fuck was happening. She came over, met my parents. We talked through all the issues that were going on, and everything carried on as normal. Real life, never met her parents. She never met mine. That we couldn't see each other because of that. Um, because she didn't want me to meet her parents. And, hey, is what it is. I can't force her. But at the end of the day, that's why we weren't able to see each other. And that shit broke me. Not gonna lie, because it really put into perspective how easy everything would have been if that would have happened. Not easy, but like how easy it would have been for that to happen. Because it was like a very short interaction with her mother and father, and it wasn't that long of an interaction with my parents for her meeting mine. And we were able to continue as usual, and things were great. Things are not great. Um, I, I met this girl a while ago. I went to school with her. Um, but she's a year younger than me. And I had marketing with her last year. And we would literally just be playing tag for like 90% of the fucking school year. We had a project one time, last October, and we worked together, you know. At that point, I just didn't want to find myself with a younger girl. Like that's not, I don't usually go for people younger than me. So I let that be like as what it was, just kept like eye tag, I guess, throughout like until like April. And then in April, we had started talking. Now I went back in the chats because I'm a sentimental ass motherfucker. It was April 17th where we actually started like consistently talking. And we like from there, we were seeing each other most days because she lives very close to me. So like every night we would go out and we would see each other, we would sit, we would talk. And because of that, and me seeing her in person so often, it was very easy to build a bond with her. And I think I let her in too fast. But hey, it was great for like 3 months. We were going like and seeing each other. It went like all throughout summer. And 2 weeks before summer, she like blocks me on some shit. But I just text her and I'm like, hey, what's going on? I don't think it's crazy that like I want some sort of reason as to why I'm blocked. And she just sends me like, yeah, it's not crazy. Like, here you go. And it was the screenshot of a girl snap story being like, oh, Quincy, da da, whatever. Laura on that, my homeboy had cheated on his girl with this girl, the one that was in there. And we had talked about it because she was friends with my homeboy's girl. And when the one was brought up, I was like, oh yeah, like I know her. I met her one time, which wasn't false. I knew of her and I only met her one time. But she had like pulled up the screenshot of the girl because I had like talked, like not even talked to, I'd flirted with the girl like on and off throughout shit. And after she had sent that, like a few weeks before I had seen her at the Avalon, oh yeah, location drop, I guess. I'd seen her at that Avalon, ran into her, didn't say anything to her there, but I was like, yo, like, if I ever see you at the Avalon again, maybe we can like say something. Because at that point, it was like awkward because I like this girl, I had stopped talking to people. So at that point, she was fully blocked and had been for a minute. But I was like, I just kind of felt bad about that because there was no explanation. And like, she didn't do anything to me. So that felt kind of, I just kind of felt like a dickhead. But she pulls up this and it's like, you said you didn't really know her. And I'm like, I don't really, but I can understand how I should have made it very clear that, like, hey, I like kind of used to have talk with this girl and things would have been better. But that should have been my first warning sign. Because instead of coming to me about it, she just blocked me. And I had to beg for that information out. And it was the beginning of when I started feeling disposable to her. But after that, I thought that things had cleared up. Clearly not. I thought that things were going fine, but they weren't. Um, because it all came to it again, like the day before school. I don't even really remember like half of that night for reasons, whatever. I don't really remember half of that night. But I was with my homeboy. I went over to go see her, and then I come back with my homeboy. I go to sleep. I wake up. I'm blocked again. This time I'm blocked on like everything imaginable. I end up having to add this girl on Snap. I don't use Snap like that. Snap is not something that I really affiliate with. And so I add her there, and it takes like a couple of days before she ever adds me back. So it's a Saturday before school. I don't hear from her the Sunday before school and the Monday of school. I have a class with her on Monday. So I have no idea what the fuck's going on. She's sitting on the opposite side of the room. I'm still seeing her. Like she's like looking at me every once in a while. I just don't know why I'm blocked. So I'm confused as fuck. And I don't say anything to her. She ends up adding me back. And we kind of like talk through it. She's not taking it very serious at the first part. But we end up like kind of talking through it. And I don't even remember most of what it was like as far as what was said. But we end up kind of getting in an argument about it. She's like, "Oh, this is part of the reason why," and she's saying that, "Oh, like I have nothing, no time but to sit and think about whatever's going on," and I kind of got in my own head about the whole situation, right? So I think that it's like kind of going to be cool moving on, but no, it goes on for that's like a week, and then the subsequent week, like the first week we're figuring shit out. I think it's good the second week, or at least good enough. Like it's repairing. Um, and I know that Friday is that Friday. Um, After a football game, I text her. I'm like, "Hey, I'm gonna be outside." I think she had work that day, so I was like, "I don't even know if you're home from work, but I'm gonna be at our spot. Meet me there if you can." And she texts me back. She's like, "Yeah, like I really want to see you." And I was like, "All right, cool. I'll probably still be here by the time you get back," because she said she was gonna be back in like 20. And she follows that up with, "Yeah, no, like we really need to talk." That point, no, look up. We really need to talk. All right, there's only one thing we could possibly be talking about. So in my mind, I'm already bracing myself for her to say, "Oh, we shouldn't talk anymore." Is what it is. Charge it up to the game. We get there. Exactly what I think happens. At this time, I'm listening to music though. Like I still have music in our ears because in my ears, at least this time, because usually we would like share earbud, whatever. We didn't end up this time, but I just had the music in my ears, whatever. At this point, Al Green Dream starts playing at the beat drop when she tells me that we shouldn't talk anymore. I sit in silence until the end of that song, listening and also thinking what the fuck I'm gonna respond with. It was probably dead silent on that grass for about a minute and a half, 2 minutes. I'm glad I did that because if I would have responded immediately, I would have said some bullshit and the shit would have been cooked, you know. But at this point, when I talked with her afterwards, she just didn't approve of how I went about things, and like in my perspective of it, she lets a lot of shit get to her head because I hadn't really done anything during that period. But hey, charge up to the game. It is what it is. I can't force somebody to stay. So I leave off. My mom texts me I have to go home. Whole time my parents don't know about this. They think I'm just going on walks, which also is a downfall later. But you know, we talk. I'm like, hey, I understand. I appreciate you for talking about this with me in person. This was the only point where there was a break in the video, so I just wanted to get this out. I'm posting this and making this to like fend for myself, but also to put out there that like don't let niggas make you feel stupid for feeling. You're not pathetic for like wanting some shit to work that you've poured so much into. Like I felt pathetic about it for so long. Felt like an idiot. Some of the shit that I did was idiotic, I'm not gonna lie. But you're like you're not lame for that. Like if anything, at least in mine, maybe I'm lying to myself, but I really just feel this way. You're not lame for being in love. You care about some shit, you want to make it work. Try. Because honestly, I feel better about it because of the fact that I know that I poured my whole heart into it. It didn't work out. Okay, it didn't work out. But I know I did all I could, and I know I was the best I could be. That's it. My dad walked in. But, I'm like, hey, appreciate you for talking about this with me in person. I appreciate you for your time. I still care about you. Goodbye. I'll see you around. And because she tells me that we should, stop talking, she tells me that we should stop talking. I'm gonna assume you don't want to talk. You don't want to conversate. You know? I don't think that that's crazy. I don't. I don't think that's out of whack. But apparently it was because I go that entire week. I don't really talk to her. This happens on Friday, so obviously Saturday, Sunday. But I see her during school, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't talk to her. She texts. Apparently, she followed me on Wednesday. I didn't see that. Um, but on Thursday, she fully texts me. It's like, hey, you mean hey? Thought you didn't want to talk. I look at that shit. I'm mad as hell. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Gives you the entitlement to just sit here talking about some hey. I'm mad about the way things ended. First off, because I didn't really do shit, and like that shit got me tight. But I'm somebody that lets my emotions regulate before I respond, because I know fuck that shit all up. Because I miss the girl. 110%. I have a crazy ass bond with her. I miss the girl. But I'm trying to decide whether or not I let her back into my life. And if that is something that I want to happen, I can't fuck that up by responding out of anger. So I let it marinate for like 2 days. Thursday, Saturday. Meanwhile, I'm in my mind, I'm like, I'm just not gonna respond. I'm just not gonna respond. I'm just not gonna respond. I cave in Saturday. Saturday, I'm like, I respond, we talk about it. And I end up seeing her that Saturday night. And we talk about it more. And I should have left it at an end. That should have been like a closure talk. Actually, no, we didn't even need a closure talk. That fucking the talk we had the week before basically told me all I needed to know. But yeah, she was like, she when she had texted me, she was like, "Oh, it really hurt that you thought that you won't talk to me." What do you mean? You said you wanted to stop talking. Fuck does that work? What do you mean? Like and that should have been my first sign that like shit just was never gonna work. Because that's confusing as hell. And in general, I think that a lot of things from a communication standpoint and just like her wants and needs was just confusing as hell. Because what the fuck do you mean you want to keep talking? Like, and she pulled that card after. Because here's the thing: after we had like made up, after she told me that she wants to stop talking, she was like, it seemed like she had changed that, but she changed it for just long enough for me to get attached to it again, and then it ceased. It ceased. Um, I think that everything's going well. I'm seeing her all the time, and until like it was August 31st going into or August 30th. How many days? August 31st. Like the end of August, the night that went into the 1st of September. I see her. I'd seen her the day before. We went to a football game, driven her home, whatever. And she tells me, oh, she's not feeling well, but I really want to see her. Like, I really want to see her. And so I literally, I walk outside her house. We do like a shitty Romeo and Juliet bit of her like at her window. And I'm like sitting there talking, trying to get her to come down. And she eventually does come down and we walk. The way my neighborhood is set up, there's like there's a golf course, but then there's also like for the golf course, there's like a bridge that goes across this like fat ass pond. Um, you could just call it a lake. It's not a lake, but it's just a big ass pond for the golf course. And so we go over to that bridge, we sit and we talk, and it just like it slowly starts to get more like deep and like sentimental, but specifically about the relationship. And she, starts asking me a couple questions, and I ask her, I'm like, "Are you happy with this?" And she kind of hesitates, and like she ends up giving me some answer about like, "Yeah, like I'm happy with it." She asked me if I'm happy. I answer more from a personal sense of like, not really, like, you know, as a person. But then I go into talking about the relationship. So the way that I set it up, like my sentence made it seem like it was one idea that I was going on across. Because I said that I wasn't really happy as a person, and then I went like into my kind of grievances about like where things were going. Like, because here's the thing, I really liked this girl. I wanted to date this girl, but she seemed like somebody that wasn't really up for dating because she constantly had this mindset of like literally her words like this can only go so far. Well, that doesn't really evoke hope in me. That this is going to be something for the long run that you view as it can be something for the long run because I know it can be something that lasts a while. Um, what am I going to pass up? But that's basically what it was. Like word for word, bar for bar. She just never really talked about the future ever and like whether shit was going to work out. And that kind of sucked. I was like, all right, God, this everything has an end. All right. I looked past that though because she was lovely. No, I still have love in my heart for this girl. I still love this girl. But there are just things that have arose that mean I can't be in love with her, you know? But anyways, she gets said about me saying that I'm not really happy with what's going on. She feels like I've been lying about my feelings to her, which funny, that's what ends up happening later. Not me doing it, her. you know. Anyways, but she feels like I had been lying to my feelings about her. She was really mad. She like storms off. And at this point, I'm supposed to have been home, but I'm trying to calm her down. That way I don't end up getting blocked the fuck again. Because I know how quickly she does that. I end up like calming her down enough that I could head home. I already saw a text from her. It's like, yo, you gotta come back. You know, it's cooked. But we get back there, they're pressing me, whatever. I end up just coming clean about the fact that I've been seeing this girl. And they are not happy because I've been lying to them for months. Also, other reasons that also have to do with this girl, but I'm not going to disclose that for her sake. Um, but I just wasn't allowed a lot of things. But their big thing was, hey, you can't go out and see this girl anymore unless y'all meet each other's parents. Sitting here, I'm like, oh, that's easy. That's light. That's light. Has any girl ever met my parents before? No. Other than like Masha, who's my homegirl. No girl I've been messing with romantically has ever met my parents before. And so like that was a big thing for me. But I liked this girl so much and I wanted shit to work and it was in a rough patch. So I wanted that to happen. She did not want that to happen. She felt like it was weird. Like she told me that things were moving too fast. Like I have not been seeing you consistently almost every night for the past like 4 months. And she was like, "Oh, it only ever really got serious within the past month or so." I think like kind of label wise, not even label wise, because we still this was still very much a little situationship. You know, I hate that fucking word, but sadly that's what it was. Um, so she was like she was just being weird about it, but she was like, you meet him during homecoming, whatever. All right, I guess. So we're having to have these conversations online and through text because of the fact that we can't see each other. And we can't see each other because she will not let me meet her parents. Just want to get that as a preface. We are having to text about issues because she won't let me meet her parents. We have to text because of her. That's why. But we're talking through it. I think that things are getting better. I think she's telling me that, like, you are already. I think at one point she was like, you are like, I was like, hey, do you think that this could be at a point where I am what like I am gonna be the one person for you. I'm gonna be the one thing that you need. And she's like, you are already that. Saying that I'm enough, what I am, is good for her, you know? And we were talking about feelings, talking about the shit that's going on. And she's making it seem like she's very into it. And it's something that's gonna end up working. Giving me faith. Because regardless of it, I'm always gonna have hope. I'm a hopeful ass nigga. But for her, pessimistic ass to put out hope means a lot more. That goes on for like 2 weeks, and then she randomly like grows very distant, like on a random ass Saturday, grows very distant. And I spend like that day being like, "Hey, what's going on?" To the she's like, "It's not that deep. Everything I say gets dramatized by you. Just let me be." Right? Fuck they say fuck me for. I kind of let it be, and then at one point I'm literally like, "Nah, what the fuck is going on? Like you're saying it's not that deep. Also, you're taking time away and you know like in my mind I'm like she's probably losing feelings because I can't see her and whatever, but she like basically lets me know, hey, I've been losing feelings. So that is kind of a big deal. If you weren't aware of that shit kind of is a big deal. um and she's like, oh, I know, whatever. So she's been making it seem like she's so in love when in reality she's not happy with what's going on. Basically, she's been lying to me about how she felt, which is exactly what she was getting mad at me for before. And I wasn't even actually doing it. I just misspoke. But I like she's actually doing it this time. And she's been doing it purposely.
Huh?
All right. But basically she's like, I can't keep doing this, we're having conversation over social media, everything's through text. Because you don't want to let me meet your parents. That's why. That's why we can't have these conversations in person. That's why we're not allowed to. But yeah, so she's like, I can't be over, but I can't. I don't want to lose you in my life. I want to keep you as a friend. Me, I don't hold any hate in my. I don't like having any animosity with a person after we end. But I'm damn sure not gonna be fucking friends with you because here's the thing. I still had hope, and I knew that if I would have been friends with her, I would have kind of hoped that her mind would change and it'd be this constant thing. I'd always be reminded and like we'd still be conversating kind of the same way. I don't do that. I don't do that. That shit would kill me softly. I'd rather just rip the fucking band-aid off. So I told her that. I was like, I'd rather die than actually just sit here and be your friend. And she was like, it hurts that you wouldn't even consider that. Well, now we care about what hurts who. Now we give a fuck. But so I just told her, I was like, you know what? Like, out of, to try and protect her feelings, I was like, hey, maybe I'm speaking too rash. Just give me a couple days to think about it. I give her this time. I give her time. This is the first time I've ever asked for time on my own. For like to just think about something that is very clearly a hard decision. In my mind, I already knew we weren't going to be fucking friends. But I just wanted to see maybe if that would change. and I knew it probably wasn't going to. But I'd rather take the time to think about it than regret it later. 'Cause at least I know, like, the situation was made in my best interest, in the best mind frame possible. And so I like take a couple days, and we're not talking during this. But she just texts me randomly. You are not who you claim to be of all at all. Don't contact me for a while. Goodbye. I'm walking my dog when I read this. So I look at it, I'm confused as fuck. And at this point, I know that she's just hurt and making baseless ass claims. Cause I'm still the same nigga. I know within myself. She hasn't made me lose that much self confidence. I know I haven't changed that much. I'm just human and we're not seeing each other every day. I think it was a lot easier for her like to get things across and like the whatever when we were seeing each other every day. And so she kind of the romanticized version of me that she had in her mind slipped away because there was no pleasure involved in it anymore. We were in a rough patch. Why the fuck would we sit here having like meaningless conversations? And that was a consistent theme through it. You're starting to see the theme here. Something arises, she gets tough, she leaves. It happened three separate times, but I look at it, I put it down just because I'm like, hey, like we'll respond later. She sends me this on Snap, by the way. I hate that we texted through Snap. I really wish we would have just texted, but hey, that was her preference. I let her be. She really does not like it when it's any way but her way. And I think I never realized that until later when like my parents pointed that out to me. It is what it is. I put it down, which means that I left her on open. So when I go back to like respond to it, I think it would have been like 20, 30 minutes at this point. Because I'm cooling down. Because that's a very like bold fucking statement. That's a bold claim that I'm not who I've claimed to be at all. When have I ever claimed to be anything at all? I rest my case. I'm not gonna sit here and get mad about this shit again, but I'm just thinking about it. Um, so I sit there and I'm going to respond. I see she's blocked me. Every fucking thing. Any platform you can imagine, blocked. Except for Spotify. There's a Spotify message feature, and I don't think I even utilize that the same day. I think I used maybe like the day after. Yeah, it was the day after. Or the same night. I think my timeline's fucked up. I got it. So all this shit happened on well the shit before where she was like, you're not who you've claimed to be at all. That shit happened on like a Tuesday. I let it marinate throughout the week. I'm still seeing her every day, not talking to her, passing by, not even dropping a glance. And so but on like Saturday, I think we started sending like songs back and forth. I don't even know. That shit was so immature. You you look back on some shit that wasn't even that long ago. And you're like, how the fuck did I think that was okay? I feel like a corny ass nigga, but I did it. It was what it was. We sent songs back and forth, and finally I break the silence on Saturday, and I'm like, hey, like I really wish you would see the goodness because I still wanted shit to work out. So I'm sitting here and I'm begging. I'm on my hands and knees like a little bitch, begging for this girl back, essentially. And that same night, I end up getting caught smoking, but like we're talking through and through. And she's basically like, you're not the same person who I fell in love with anymore. You know, you won't get it right. And like, you will never get it right. Just a bunch of hurtful shit that was kind of baseless. Because at least when I mention shit, I know exactly why. But she doesn't elaborate. And I think that's what hurts the most. Because like, I'm just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Because it's hurtful and confusing. You know? If you had, it gotta be one or the other. You can't be mean and not make sense. That shit blows me. But I digress. We talk about it, and I get caught smoking after she sends something like, "Why couldn't you have been better for me?" or whatever. I'm mad as fuck because I just got caught. Bunch of my shit taken, and so I respond to her next time. I'm like, I think it's just like. the reality check of the conversation I had with my parents, I look at this text from her and I'm like, what the fuck is she talking about? Genuinely, what the fuck are you talking about? And so I replied, and I'm going off. I'm reading the fuck out of this girl, you know? I wanna say bitch so bad, but like I can't eat, you know? You part on Wilshire where he's like,
I can't even look at you and think about bad words.
that's how I feel. Cause no matter what I say about this girl, I still have so many emotions for her. And so many emotions about us and everything that was going on. Like, I don't I don't know how she feels about me. I really don't. I don't know if she knows how she feels about me. Like that was a common theme, even while we were together. So I don't know anything on her side, but I know how I feel, and it's probably how I will continue to feel for a while. But I digress. And we just end up having this shit where we're going back and forth. I'm saying all this shit that I never got to because I was trying to guard her feelings. When in reality, if I would have just been honest about my grievances and seen her responses, I probably would have I probably would have been the one that would have dipped out because I was willfully ignorant and just a fucking idiot because I cared about this girl and I was in love. I didn't want to know her responses to half of these shits. I didn't want to know how she go about it because I just felt like it would be like throwing rocks at a glass house. Not gonna fuck around and find out. I'ma just act like everything it will always be okay. It wasn't. I knew in the back of my mind, but my heart was trying to let go. But basically how it ends is just me being like, then just let this be our final goodbye. Let this be it. I told her that I was at peace with us being strangers because honestly, I am. I'm not happy with it, but I think that peace and happiness are two separate emotions. You need to find peace in not being happy because emotions always fluctuate. But if you have peace, you will have just a certain level of contentment with anything that goes on with you. I say I'm at peace with us being strangers because who you are is already somebody that I don't recognize, which was true. I care about this girl, but I care about this girl because of who she was to me before and how nice she was and just like considerate and just like basically that 2 week span when everything was good. I think this sounds a lot. And shit, I just thought back to it right then. Like it was crazy how like just like perfect teen love it was for like us for 2 weeks, you know, when it was love. Because like before it was really just like a really cool summer fling, but then emotions got involved and that's when shit got fucked up. Um, but I rest my case. I was like, hey, my peace with us being strangers. Time will move on, and so will we. I hope you become everything you want to be. Stay well, and I really do hope that for her. I wish no ill on this one. None at all. I don't care about her so deeply. I want her to find somebody new and get over me and just forget that I was ever there. Just be who she was to me because I think that everybody should experience that kind of love. I had told her that I wish that I had never met her, and she said the same thing to me. I said in response, but I was lying. I was lying my ass off. I'm so glad I met that woman. It taught me so many things about myself. It exposed everything about me in a way that I just had never felt before. Man, I was vulnerable as fuck. My fault. That nigga crying. I, I was truly myself with her in a way that I hadn't been in so long, which is why it hurt so much when she was telling me everything, when she sat there and Tried to tell me everything that was wrong with how I was going about things. But at that point, it didn't really hurt as much when she was saying, because not only had she already said this type of shit before, she was like just very clearly hurt. And at that point, I just learned to not really take that shit from people who are hurt, because hurt people, you know? Um, but man, like, I don't, not even that type of love, because you see how it ended up, but it was just trying to figure shit out and emotions got fucked up. Um, After that point, we kind of left it at an end. She had sent me a couple songs after, and then by the time I saw them, she was like, ignore those. I'm sorry for reaching back out again. So I ignored them. And she ended up blocking me on Spotify, I'm pretty sure. I think she unblocked me on shit. I haven't really checked, but like whenever I go to send reels again, like her IG pops up. I think I'm unblocked. I don't know on what. And then I know I'm unblocked on TikTok because she had tagged me in some shit. But when I went to like go respond, she had deleted the comment. I don't really check tags like that, like my mentions on TikTok, because it's usually just people adding my post to their story. Um, but I went in and I checked and I scrolled down and I saw her name. And I thought that it was one of my editors, actually, because one of my editors has the same name as her. So I was like, oh, da da. And then I watched the video and I was like, nah, my editor ain't sent me this shit. So I look back at like the profile picture because the comment is gone, so I can't look at the comment. But I look back at the profile picture and the notification, and it's her. Um, so like I think she still cares about me, but I think she kind of picks and chooses when that's something that you know is going on. Not even picks and chooses. I know her mind just kind of fluctuates. And we were talking about it, and I was like, your indecision and like your indecision on your feelings about me is like part of the reason I can't be. She got mad at me because like, oh, that's not something I can control. Yeah, but it's not something that I want to deal with. You know, that doesn't mean I have to stay around. It would hurt so. Like, I know, regardless of the amount of pain that I'm feeling right now, I would be so much worse if I was like actively her friend. Because now I can just leave it at an end and think of her fondly. I forgive her. I don't like. I think I was at a point like the first week and like I think the few days before the last few days that like I was trying so hard in my heart to hold some animosity. I just can't. I love that girl. She showed me so many things. She gave me such valuable experiences. She gave me so much of her time, even though it ended up with me feeling disposable at moments. Um, I felt needed for a long time. I felt wanted, and that's something I hadn't felt in a while. And I don't know the next time I'll feel that. But it was beautiful that I did. And it was beautiful that we had it, that it was there, that it was something that happened. I'll always look back on it fondly, always look at her and wonder where it went, where she went. Feels like I'm mourning somebody that's still alive. But those memories, man, they will kick your ass on a random ass day. It won't even be like late at night. Late at night is usually when it's all cool. Cause like I'm about to go to bed. I go to bed at a decent time now. Because because of it all. Cause I realize if I stay up too late, like that shit was just not gonna be good for my mental. I'm in bed at like 10:30 sharp. Um, but I'll think about it. I'll wake up and I'll look at like spots she used to be. Man, I was cleaning my room the other day. I found one of her hair ties. Um, I'll look for outfits in the morning and I'll pass by. The shirt that she got me. Sometimes I want to wear it. Um, just for me. Beautiful, man. She was beautiful. She is beautiful. It's the one thing I. That's the one thing emotions can't take away. She is beautiful. Somebody else is gonna look at her the way that I did. I'm gonna ask somebody else the same questions that she asked me. She expects my same responses. Being in love is great. I'm glad I got to experience it like for real. Man, that shit sucks to get over. I can't change her. Gotta what you want for some don't want for themselves. She didn't. She's okay with how she is. And whether that works out for her, we'll see. But that door is locked for never, actually. With everything that she reaches out with, it's just kind of a reminder that she hasn't changed. Like she still wants me to go and do half the work when I've already overexerted myself time and time again to be with her. She wants to talk. She can call me. She can text me. I'll answer. I won't reach out, but I'll answer. And I won't say it, but to her, at least. But I love her.